would love for us to even acknowledge the experiences that we have during the day. Some of those things, either challenging or not, that we just go through during the day. Because at the top of my head, I can think about work deliverables, things that I expected for either on the job or at school. There are just some responsibilities on us. And then it's easy for just feeling overwhelmed or frustrated to set in because we have goals and expectations that are put on us either by ourselves or by other people, and then we may start struggling with fatigue, because it's what, maybe 2 p.m., 3 p.m. during the day. It's been a long day already. And then, just our senses, I'm thinking about how we even interact with what we hear, what people say, even food. How can that affect us? All these things are happening during the day. And it's so easy to lose focus or just be out of that sync. And then we find out that we're not grounded. And there's this concept called time blocking. So, when we already know what we want to achieve during the day, the best thing to do is actually to block time to do it. So, if I have 4 things that I want to achieve today, it's good to say, okay, I want to do this between 11 and 12 p.m. and I want to do this between 1 and 2 p.m. Actually have specific times that we want to do those things. That takes it to another level of having us being mindful as the day is going on, how we want to do things. Another thing too, along with just blocking time, is hopefully you're thinking about deliverables. So what is expected of you so that you're actually prioritizing. You're prioritizing based on what is expected of you. It might be maybe you have a timeline to submit something. So that should be on your priority list. What we do sometimes, what I have done sometimes, is do the easiest one, even though it may not be what's expected for me to do at that moment, but it's just the more convenient one. So it could even be, I want to wash dishes but I don't want to wash dishes, so I'm going to cook, and then I'm going to have more dishes to wash, wouldn't I? But I don't want to wash dishes. So if I have priorities, and I know that this is what is expected, and this is the most critical one, that's the one we should try to tackle and actually give more time to. But those are the ones that sometimes we find ourselves kind of running away from. I remember even being in school and I had papers to write. I would do everything else but sit down to write the paper because it's just scary. And there was when I was doing my master's program years ago, there was this paper that I don't know, I was just terrified about writing it. So I would not even sit down. And the day I decided to sit down, oh my God, I was almost having a panic attack. But I eventually had to say, I'm doing this today. I'm doing it this morning. So I sat down with it, and I would get up, sit back down, tell myself I have to do it. So there are times that we have to power through some of those things that we don't really like to do, but it's important. And if you feel like you are having emotions it's just heavy, it's always good to have something that I would call mood check-in. It's always good to, think through, how am I feeling right now? Am I angry? Am I sad? Am I tired? Am I anxious? So you can ask yourself in the midst of work. You don't need to say it out loud where there's everybody. They might be wondering what's happening. But you can talk to yourself in your heart and just check. Some of us can actually stop work and do that. We have that kind of flexibility, but some people don't. So if you have that moment to pause, That's great. Use it. 5 minutes is good enough for you to try to understand, what am I feeling? Am I happy? Am I happy, but I'm a little bit too excited and I'm starting to be silly, or am I sad, and what may have caused it? Did somebody say something? Did I remember something? Just some self-reflection during the day is always good to help us. Am I tired? And that could mean maybe I need a power nap. I love my power naps. I know not everybody can have power naps during the day, but I love me some power nap. And that could be just 5 minutes and I'm good. So, but you may not be able to get to that point if you don't really give yourself time to check what is happening, what do I need? And hopefully we can do that. And that could really help us during the day.